I was going to talk about my experience of doing 7 months no pornography. It's been a pretty profound experience. I can tell you what I've noticed off the jump. I've got some notes here. Hopefully this will convince you, I guess, to stop pornography. You know, I'm not trying to be like, sit here and tell you like I'm some sage and I'm above you, like, because I couldn't go like 4 weeks. The most I could ever go without pornography was like 4 weeks last time I tried. And I had a breakthrough with an injury. I had a revelation on how to fix one of my spine injury at the time during that, and that was really cool, and like such a big issue at the time, and I managed to fix it. I'll give you some antidotes, the best ways to deal with it. What's really helped me to stop watching porn was dressing up better, getting around connection, so church community, you know, getting amongst girls, and just being around beauty. Something about being around beauty, it holds you to a higher standard. It is freezing out. I feel so strongly in the spirit to come sit here and make this video. Even though a lot of things ain't lining up with it right now. I couldn't find my microphone, and it's windy. But anyway, I'm gonna make this regardless. As the title of this video suggests, we're talking about pornography. I've got a lot of notes and things that we'll get into after. I hope that isn't too windy. I need to check this. I'll talk about the really good positive impacts. 3 months into it, I started to be able to perceive higher thoughts, higher perceptions, and alternative paths, and I felt like I started crying. I remember I was talking to the boys, Vicky and Rusty, and I started crying because 3 months into it, I realized how disconnected I've been from myself my entire life because of pornography. And I started grieving and crying because I realized like how much of my soul I was killing the more I engaged in that, and I didn't realize it. And even now, here sitting in front of you, like it's weird because I've been really like strict and good for like 7 months, and I think everyone around me kind of notices the change and whatnot. And but I don't know, like I do sin in my mind and heart often. Like I try to like unknowingly, but like when I catch myself, I'll stop. It's been really transformative though, this no pornography thing. Like I'm learning a lot more things about myself way faster. I have a bigger appetite to just get things done. Sorry for swearing. I have a bigger appetite to get things done. I'm more willing to like pick up a book or comprehend something that I've been meaning to but been putting off. I'm a lot more eager to work or do something or accomplish something, editing or creating a video or whatever. I've got some notes here, and hopefully this will convince you, I guess, to stop pornography. You know, I'm not trying to be like, sit here and tell you like I'm some sage and I'm above you. Like, I'm not. I've gone 7 months really strict, and I noticed effects at 3 months, and I noticed even more effects at 7 months. And I wish I could. I feel like I fumbled it a bit lately because of me being back in the room and injured again. It's really hard to deal with for me because I can't, like when I'm around people, like I'll give you some antidotes, the best ways to deal with it. How I found, because I couldn't go like 4 weeks. The most I could ever go without pornography was like 4 weeks last time I tried, and that was great. And I had a breakthrough with an injury. I had a revelation on how to fix one of my spine injury at the time during that, and that was really cool, and like such a big issue at the time, and I managed to fix it. But because of how isolated I am, what's really helped me to stop watching porn was dressing up better, getting around connection, so church community, you know, getting amongst girls, and just being around beauty. Something about being around beauty, it holds you to a higher standard. It's not even like just the women or getting off in some way on them. It's literally nothing about that. It's something about beauty keeps standards high. That's what I've noticed. And maintaining beauty, there's a time where you're being a perfectionist and it's too much and you're kind of missing the point. As long as you can, I think real beauty comes in when it's not perfect, you know, it's a little messy, but it gets the gist and the purpose. Maybe I'm bang on with this video and I don't have my mic. It's kind of what it feels like. I don't know, but that's a new thing for me, and you start to perceive like what state of mind's perceptions are wrong about you. So that's what kind of helped me. And yeah, having your and knowing what you want to do as well is helpful. Maintaining attraction, knowing who you are, know thyself is a really important saying. Anyway, I've got a lot of notes and they're not in order, so we're just gonna go through and just read them out. I was hoping to make this 1 year pornography free video, and that would have been like a cool as line to flex, but I've tainted my eyes today and I've cheated, and I had a suck about it, to be honest, because it just hurt. I could feel like it hurt me in my soul. I don't know, but part of me is like, my destructive shadow is trying to justify it, like, oh, just chill out, man. And that's partly true, but I don't know how to chill out. I don't know how to chill out. I've been learning more about parasympathetic nervous system and learning to calm down, but like there's definitely, I get the point of not engaging in pornography. It brings out your soul better, and like the urges have been a lot stronger lately because of how inside I've been, and I noticed that the revelations I'll get once I just don't succumb to it, when I don't engage afterwards, once it's passed, I get revelations for like a movie, a book, like ideas that I'd forgotten about, or something like comes to me and I'll get it down and I'll make some sort of use of it, and it's very interesting. It's so interesting. I've noticed it. It's a real thing, like what's going on with this pornography thing. The best way I can describe it is like, it's like a parasite on your soul, and it takes your, I've heard it called life force. It takes your life force away from you, and you don't express it in this world, in this material world, and less good is done because of that. So it's not a good thing. It's a spiritual parasite that's on you, and maybe the whatever vices, the more bad things you do, or sin, or like the more, like, it's okay to make mistakes if you don't know what you're doing, like that's fine, but like pornography is definitely a doorway for a demon to leech onto you and affect you in some way. The best way I can describe holiness is that you just go down a pathway that's correct. Like God will put more resistance when you're going down the wrong way, and more favor when you're going down the right way. That's what I've noticed. 1 year pornography, 7 months, whatever. That's a record breaking for me, bro. To go from tweaking like a crackhead at 2 weeks or 2 days to like 7 months is crazy. So whatever, pat myself on the back. Currently I'm noticing through all urges there is a chance for ascension into a higher perception. I was just saying how, like, no matter your best sex, like no amount of, my health is worth more, and I've noticed that I can get more ahead when I'm abstaining or holy, exposing myself to feminine judgment. Self-awareness, I've noticed that I'm more self-aware. I'm more able to see my mistakes and my flaws, my ignorance a lot better because of being holy. Like the Holy Spirit, I think from my interactions with it, it's like it's a reminder, so it can prompt you in the right way and warn you about wrong things. I've noticed that I can pick up on my insufficiencies better when I'm being holy, because I don't know, I'm just more self-aware. Like I'm not living in this numbed out, like low buzz, don't really care attitude. Because like pornography is cheap. Like you it's like it's a substitute for the real thing, and I don't want to give into it because like I want the real thing, you know what I mean? Like connection is so much more fulfilling than pornography, and even though it's like visually insane, it's just, I don't know, like I can't bring myself to do it. It's like a lack of respect, or it's disrespecting myself and my beliefs, and it's like it communicates to me that I don't even believe in myself that much. And whenever I have the thoughts or temptation to watch it, I'll go right up to the line, but I just can't bring myself to do it. Like it feels like I'm like internally in my gut, like it feels like I'm betraying myself. It feels like I'm not vibrationally aligned with what I want, if I can explain it that way. False novelty, yeah, it's not really your narrative. I feel like living through a phone and me being like a bloody iPad kid or something, just being left to my devices. I've lived through other people's nervous systems and not my own. I've watched other people's stories, good, and I've had this like, what is it? Not imposter, but like, you're not used to living your own story, and it feels so foreign to you. And that's what I'm perceiving lately, is like I can better live my soul's path accurately and embody it and know what that feels like. And it's a little thrilling, it's a little scary, I'm not gonna lie, because like you do things and actions and you're like, is this what I'm really like what, like, and it's like, but you know it's right, you know in your mind it's right, but you just don't know how to step into that and experience that with like, yeah, I've been exposed to pornography since I was like 4, and it's been so bad, and I was addicted to it from 8 years old. As soon as like I had a bloody computer, you know, I was already looking up movies. Like it really messed me up, and it messes up your familial relationships. It messes up, because I think what it is like, let's say you get caught or something, or like, you know, someone looks on your computer and sees you looking at something you shouldn't have been. I've noticed really strange interactions when there's someone watching porn and I'm abstaining. I'll notice like the spirit, that whatever demonic entity that is, it'll create some sort of awkward interaction around that thing, around that sin, and then it will negatively impact the relationship, and then it destroys that way. That's what I've noticed, because I've been abstaining, and someone here watches it, and I like went past their room and I forgot something, and I went back. I was like, oh, and then they came out their room and they were just staring at me, and they thought I was like listening, or like had my ear against their door, but it was just like, it was just this spirit, and you were watching that, and maybe like don't watch that, and then there wouldn't be this negative awkward interaction, you know what I mean? I mean, still love the person, like I don't really care. I did that a hell of a lot when I was his age, and I probably have way more worse experiences, and I told him that, and it was like whatever, it wasn't a big deal, which is funny, you know, chucking some humor on that. But it's just, anyway, wet dreams. Oh my bro, since going no pornography, I've never had a wet dream in my entire life, but since doing no fap and no porn, dude, it's like I just gotta like rub the bed. I just gotta like graze the bed, the flat surface of a bed, bro, and I'm just like waking up in a bloody puddle. Like it's so bad, bro. I mean, it's like, it's interesting. And if you add a raw diet, because I have a lot of like beef tartare, the enzymes on a raw diet make your libido insane. So combine that with no, like, it's just, yeah, we're changing the sheets often. It's a little annoying, but I'd rather that, you know. Also, I don't know, I'm not the most, like, I don't flee from sin, I guess, super hard, super, like I'm super afraid. Like, I noticed that in my dreams, if I low-key desire something, I'll have a dream about it, and then I kind of sin that way, like in my dream. But I've noticed when I've had dreams that are, when I'm really like on point and I'm tolerating absolutely none of it, in my dream I won't engage in it. And I think your dreams are a reflection of your internal, I don't know, up in the air, nothing certain about that. But yeah, I hear you can have dreams about sugar if you're trying to get off, you know, if you're having sugar cravings, so whatever. I've noticed I'm more dominant in conversations, especially with work and income and dealing with the medical system and whatever I need to do with them. Sometimes they talk over you, sometimes they don't get things correct, and I'm way more willing, because I'm just on edge, you know, I'm already kind of pissed off that I don't have a nut. I'm more willing to jump to, if they say something wrong, I'll correct them straight away, and I'll talk over them, because what they're saying is not right. I'll stand up for myself more. That's what I've noticed. So more dominant in conversations, much more less willing to let people off the hook, much more willing to be impolite, instead of just being like, oh, and just let them have their way, and just kind of like not doing anything about it, even though you probably should. So that's a good benefit I've noticed. Yeah, I'm not being so kind that I'm shooting myself in the foot anymore. It's pretty life-changing. I'm just literally reading the notes. I can't even believe it myself, man. I'm so grateful. Yeah, it's been a pretty trippy experience. What held my soul back, like, if I didn't watch pornography growing up, I probably would be a lot more, like, if I didn't watch pornography growing up, I would be a lot more successful than I am now. I'd be way further along, because pornography messes up your reward system, your soul's desire to put itself out there for what you really want. And that desire is fueled when you have a bit of desperation, when you have lack, when you engage in pornography. It's like you already have, it's like a false approval, you know? It's like false approval. You're not actually getting approval from women. You're not actually getting approval from beauty, from the world. And when you get that false sense of approval, you're not really accepted by the divine. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lower standard you're holding yourself to, and you're not successful because you're not putting yourself in discomfort and that feeling of desperation, and that desperation that forces you to take action, even if it's bad action. I took terrible action, but that action gives you insight. And one of the things that kept me back, the longest lesson, the biggest lesson I've ever had to learn, was, it took me 5 years to really get over this and to understand. I heard Jordan Peterson, when he was talking about the Abrahamic calling, and this is what really interested me, was that story of Abraham. And he talks about, you know, you're following, and this is when I quit my work and I was trying to do something else and chase whatever this content dream was for myself. And he's like, he talks about a glimmering, like a golden snitch, and you're trying to catch it, you're trying to do something, and it's like, you don't know if you should do it, but you're not going to know unless you try it. And it's so cliche. It's so cliche. And you're maybe your perfectionist mind or your intellect's like, oh, I want it to be perfect. Oh, I got to fix this first, or I got to fix this. My experience taking that path for 5 years is I've regretted it, because a lot of time passed and I'm older and I got nothing done that was significant. And then a dream, a unicorn woman walked into my life, and I wasn't on her level, and I would have been past her level if I had just had that desperation to bring my soul forward the whole time, like it would have worked out. But because I wasn't who I was, because I was watching porn and thinking I was fine how I wasn't. And it took me 5 years to get over that imperfect action, like 5 years. And action gives insight. You learn through doing. You can know all the things in the world, you can know everything, but if you're not embodying that, if you're not making use of it, if you're not giving it, if you're not doing good with it, it's irrelevant. It only has power in application. And so learning to do this year, since I started not watching pornography, I've just been on a crazy action insight, and it's been giving me more insight. And my aim was so terrible to start. It was so bad, it was so ugly, like it was just so depressing. But in that, and it was really humbling, and it really hurt my pride and my ego and what I thought of how highly I held myself. It really hurt that. But because I took action anyway, and it was ugly, and I did it in front of everyone, and it was like, wow, like I was able to learn because I'm a good learner, and I learned through insight and of my actions. And then you refine, and then you do again, and you just get better. But action gives insight. You need to do something. If you're trying to make content, if you're trying to chase a dream, you need a piece of content. For me, like, let's say it's that. If I'd have told my previous self, look bro, you got 3 months, pick an idea, some content. You have 3 months to make one piece of content, and it needs to be like 70 to 80% quality at least, and you have to post it. And I would have been fine with that if I knew that. But this was always a new thing to me, so I didn't really know. And what ended up happening 5 years later, when I'm finally starting, my quality was like bloody 10%, negative 10, we'll say it. But I still took it, and I still learned and got better. And you need that, and you need to stay on pace and momentum. And it's you can't keep all that to yourself. You can't keep that inside. Like, that's literally, you're avoiding the whole point. If you see a woman and you're just like, and you desire her insanely, you need to be authentic with what you're feeling, and you need to express that to her. And that's giving your soul to the world. That's you're here to give something. You're not here to just observe and consume. Like, everyone's unique. Everyone's made in the image of God. Everyone has a vital gift to give. Maybe the purpose of beauty is to give vitality to the people around. Like, beauty is important. Artists are important. Like, whatever you feel like your thing is, only you will know. But you'll know. And you need to give that. Anyway, I had a promiscuous family. Yeah, I'm a convert to Christianity just through learning. I enjoy intellectual discussions. My mom, I can't say anything negative about her. But her ways negatively impacted me and my life. She was a good mother minimally, but she just had habits that she wouldn't give up, and it's rubbed onto us, and that gave me bad habits as a teen. Same with my father, and that's partly what's impacted me in this, where I'm at now. And so yeah, I really want to break that mold, that curse. It's a lot harder when I'm by myself, so I need to fix my body. I don't know, and I don't want to fall into this temptation of like, oh, I need to trust Jesus or rely on Jesus, because I want this, like, I really want the ideal. I wanted the title, like, 1 year pornography free, like, and if you just look at that and you're like, wow, like, that's crazy. But I don't know if I can keep holding that up, because I just, I'm not truly in an environment where I can do that. I don't, and because I'm injured, like I can't just. I need to stop saying I can't, but it's hard for me to perceive how to take women out on dates or entertain them in a way that they're romantically fulfilled. Because I can't do anything. I need to stop saying that. It's extraordinarily difficult for me to, even just maintain my room and the cleanliness of that, and thinking about, I don't know, I'm very open to seeing where I'm wrong with my limits, but at times it's damaged me too. So it's like, it's such a thin line that I'd rather not walk it, but I deeply want to walk it too. It's what I noticed: vitality, create way more content. This is kind of interesting. I don't know what the sin about this is. So like sexual immorality, most people have definite do not do's. Do not kiss someone that's not yours. Do not have sex with someone that's not yours. Do not, there's definite actions. But I saw this guy, he made this funny ass reel, like he was hitting on some girls, I don't even know what that even means, hitting on. But he was interacting with these women, and he just kept having these like quick-witted comebacks, and he's like, he said the F word, but he's like, that's how I like to have sex with women now. It's like I just get them flustered and then I just leave. Like I don't really touch them or anything. Like, and I thought that was so funny because it's like they feel you, they feel your soul, they feel, and it's like, I don't know what the line is on that. I think there's like a gray area where you can walk the edge and it's appropriate. Like there is what I'm learning lately is like there is a okay middle ground where you're interacting and having fun with women who are taking, because I've taken the route of, I learned this the hard way with a flatmate. I was like, just out of respect for your boyfriend, like don't sit next to me. And it kind of just killed the vibe entirely. Like, and it got into an argument because she thought I was calling her a hoe, or she thought I'd cheat. She thought I thought she'd cheat, and she took it the wrong way, man. And I was just like, all right, next time, because I was being Mr. Pure, Mr. Too Pure and transparent. Holiness, transparency, is a sin. You don't have to be transparent. Like, you have a right to privacy. And I've learned now that it's okay to have fun with a girl, and especially if like their friends are there, so that's all cool, especially if she's taken. And so I'm learning, like, I can actually walk this edge, have fun, and it's not a sin, and I don't have to condemn myself too hard. And that's what I'm learning lately. That's what I wish I knew sooner. But hey, maybe we have to learn. Maybe I had to learn all these lessons now. I don't know why. I wish I could have just learned them a bit sooner, but it is what it is. Maybe I wouldn't have learned them at all if I didn't learn it the hard way. It's really tough because, like, I'm learning all these lessons that I already knew and understood, and I'm doing everything wrong. But because of my lack of action, like, you can know everything. This is a conversation for another day, probably. Okay, I'm freezing, and I was pretty arrogant, impure. Yeah, I thought I could just watch porn and do whatever I wanted, but I was so ignorant to how badly I dressed. I dressed so terribly going to church, man. Like, oh gosh, wish someone just told me. But they did tell me. They told me with their eyes. That's what I noticed. I picked up on being holy. I'm like, oh, they're looking at my clothes. They're looking at how not well you're dressing. So just dress better, and you pay attention to what they're looking at. Anyway, so that tells you a lot. Instead of filling yourself with low bad things, you're desperate to be filled with something good, and that's what sourced the productivity and motivation that inclined you to be more successful or to move forward. Refusing low self-regard allows you to gravitate to high self-regard. open about Kim. Yeah. When I was 17, I was in a hoe phase, and I slept. When I was 17, I slept with my best friend's ex-wife. They were going through a messy divorce. She was crying, coming to my house, telling me about all the bad things he's done. He was telling me don't look into it. I knew no party was good there, and I should have stayed out of it. And we started hooking up, and like 10 minutes into it, I'm like, what the hell am I doing? Like, and I remember feeling, literally, this is the best way. I felt this voice or angel try to pull me out of the car before we got into that, and I noticed because I engaged in that sim, it feels like I lost a bit of potential about who I was, and I lost, like, I don't know, like we're great mates now. Like, we both recognized that was something we had to learn the hard way, and we became tighter, me and my best mate, after that, and didn't entertain that girl anymore. But it was really a learning lesson, and I think because of pornography growing up, like that amount of lust, when you're lusting so hard as a kid, and then you get an opportunity to lust like IRL, you take it. And I had no control of it. Like, I was so going that direction, and I was pretending like I wasn't when I was. And yeah, and then that's kind of how I discovered God, because then I had a fall, like a prideful fall, and then I encountered Jordan Peterson, and he was talking about what I'd just gone through. I met God through the devil. Pride and fall, car crash. Oh yeah, and then I had a car crash after that, which I told Josh about. The word of wisdom with the Mormons. No pornography, no sexual immorality, no smoking, like no addictional things, no coffee. It's great because it strips you literally of your pride, your ego, and it grabs you by the core of your being, and it's like, and it shakes you. It's like, what are you doing? Why are you engaging in pornography? Why are you doing this? You're not who you could be. What are you doing? That's just the best way I can describe the word of wisdom for the Mormon faith. It's like, it strips you of all the BS, and it just compares you to the ideal, and it's like, what are you doing? And you're engaging these sins. Like, why do you need them? Why do you need these vices? What's wrong with you? Like, what needs fixing? What's insufficient? It's really good, and it's really, really good to help grow you and examine yourself, like, really, like harshly, but genuinely. And if you want to change, you can. And it's like, allowing yourself to be judged by women allows you to change, because they point out what's insufficient about you, and you can just change that. And grow. And I was making excuses like, because I was so hell-bent on my injury, right? I was so like, I'm spending all my resources on fixing my body, right? And I didn't care about anything. I dressed horrendously because I didn't care. I wanted all the money, all my resources to go into my injury health, to maximize the chance that I got through that. That's all I cared about. That's why I dressed terribly at church. Ugh. And realizing that I need some beauty in my life. I need some higher. It's not wrong to desire these things, and learning about the parasympathetic nervous system, it was holding me back too much. And like, I was getting more money a couple years back when I went to the church, and I didn't want to date then, and I didn't want to spend money, and I'm on half of that now, and I'm dating, spending money, getting clothes. Like, I had no faith back then. I was too logical. I was too and there's been times where I've been too faithful for sure. But back then, I would have been in a way better spot. Anyway, where was I going with that? If you feminine judgment is important. You need some sort of feminine, divine judgment in your life. So getting amongst women will help you develop, and especially when you're not watching pornography, it just brings out the best you. It brings out the best version of yourself, and there's a lot of incentive to get better. There's a lot of incentive to become a better man, to be who you should be, who you could be, and that beauty and that sexual desire for them as well, that makes you want to change and get better. And the feeling for deep connection as well. You also get more comfortable around women. Like, the more you expose yourself, the more you practice being authentic and who you really are and what you're really saying and what you're really thinking, you realize that you're okay. Like, there's nothing wrong with your desires. You know, you can have these desires and express them authentically. Like, it's what we are. And I'd always like stuff down what I really wanted or who I really wanted, and like I've stopped doing that when I stopped watching porn, and I'm like, it works and it's true, and it's really interesting. Cheap dopamine, yeah, that's what porn is. Oh yeah, nah. I'm gonna say that. Yeah, pornography has messed up my health physically, relationships, family relationships. Yeah, it's affected my health, because when I hooked up with Kim, my friend's my best friend's ex-wife, I couldn't deal with the emotions of it. I didn't know how to deal with the emotions of it, and I took it out on my body in the gym, and I tore my knees at the time, partially. It was like a 30% rupture each knee. It kind of went away, but it wasn't like, that was kind of the start. That was like the first injury I ever had, and that came from that original sin. And I wrapped my car around the pole, and I put that pole onto an insurance company, funnily enough, in that car crash. Should I just like, let's just do this. This is probably way smarter. Ah! Look at that self-awareness. Let's read out this
Believe also that short-term style of living has caused me to tend to be highly inconsiderate of other people's emotions and connection to me, and I don't treat them well, and accidentally burn a bridge because of the nature of my previous ways. So I'm learning to be more considerate, because consideration is a form of love. Consideration in thought, giving things more thought before I do them out of love. Open about body count, 15. I haven't had sex for 5 years, and I don't want to have sex till I'm What's so cool is when you don't give in to lower, cheaper ways. It allows you and forces you to grow into better, not cheap ways, and spills into everything. Example 1, pornography. Seek intimacy with actual person. You're loser and failing at that, but learning from your mistakes. If you stay humble, the spirit. I folded 6 months in at a lonely point. Loneliness make it much more tempting. Why it's key to get out and socialize. How many books I read. Wave Superior Man, Bibles, The Secret, even the words you say.
Yeah, I've read a lot more books. The books I've read this year are Way of the Superior Man, The Secret, Mastering Yourself, 3% Man. Is there another one? There's a lot I'm trying to get through. I started reading How to Be Supernatural, or The Art of Being or Becoming Supernatural, or whatever.
Ambition control without weighing out risks and pros and cons too fast. Cadence doesn't mean I don't sit in my mind and heart. Different between intrusive thought and entertaining it in a creative way. Guidance, dress up, go to a young adults church group where you're not looking at your soul in magnifying glasses. You're not wanna frame, harassing, ignore. Man, you are the most magnificent creature. Holiness, things won't work out, and God will protect you from destroying yourself. You're a lot less likely to go down the wrong path. And that's useful, cause maybe you're going down the wrong path for years, and that's a waste of your potential. Can't believe I missed 2 years of that church, and I had double the money I'm getting now. Holiness, please, dress sharp, read the top dating books on courtship, and go to church and socialize, and stop watching that shit. I hurt so much, I've lost a big layer of my full potential because of it. And my cynical faith, I'm bringing you for the people around you. You'll be further along on the right path. The more holy you are, it's an investment, like tithing, for future rewards, and it may take a long time, but you'll be in a burden that's light. Forgive me for my ignorance. There may come a day where you realize you fell short in multiple ways in your life, and something severe happened that you could have stopped, but you weren't all you could have been because of how false satiated you've been. The holiness is a superpower. Tether back daily, at least a verse a day. Holiness, the spirit is your reminder as well. Please, for the sake of the people around you, I hope you don't have to be bitten how badly I'm being bitten. I hope you're scared of my pain. It's grim. Don't sleep on the impact and influence you have. Each decision you make has a larger influence on those around you than you realize. Anyway, I hope that lights a healthy fire under your bums. Higher self-regard. To take actions you haven't done before. Also more patience.
Anyway, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much what I've learned about pornography, what I've learned living here. I hope this positively impacts someone, maybe someone in my family will watch it. But yeah, that stuff's real. I don't know how to wind down. All I'm thinking about is porn right now, I'm not gonna lie. But I don't want to attach myself to it, and I don't, like, it hurts. It is a sin, but I don't know. And that desperation of, like, has brought me here. So maybe this video is really good. Is there anything else? I don't know. I'm just happy I'm here. I'm happy we're on the right path now. We get it now. We understand it. I see it now. I see how it connects. I see how it's true. I see how it messes up your desire to be successful, your desire to put your best self forward. And it's an ethical crime. It is an ethical crime. It's a crime on an ethical, spiritual level to engage in it and keep all that stuff inside you. It's a crime, and it's better to let it out messily than not at all, because at least with that insight and the action will give you insight. God bless, in Jesus' name, amen. Final note, if you're getting married to someone that you're not fully attracted to, it's gonna be a lot harder to stay away from sin. So when you're picking someone, you wanna pick the hottest fucking person you can find. Not for the sake of their hotness, preferably firstly for the sake of who they are, but you know, you wanna maximize that attraction so you don't have a desire for pornography, because it does take away from your life. Action gives insight. Same with dating women as well. Like, if you're a novice, action gives insight, and you gotta learn somehow. It's good to be engaging and trying to date women, because that action is the best. I've read dating books, like, nothing teaches better than experience, and you can because there's pain in it. You know what I mean? Like, it stings, and things stick out to you more that you can learn.